America's presidency has given us a vivid example of the impact of economics on politics. What is imposed in the ethical or scientific controls of politics is that what remains in the influence of money on it. It is supposed to have values that are not supposed to be broken if the money factor enters it. Values such as the values of patriotism, the values of freedom, values, nobility in dealings, rules in wars, in treaties, and money does not enter as a factor influencing them. Also, there is the problem of money. Sometimes certain financial interests are achieved at the expense of the interests of the nation or the interests of the state. Real money entering is not a good thing in the governance of matters, especially when there are major countries and have multiple relationships, and therefore the impact of this may be general on the entire world. We saw in Trump's previous statements. The presidency, over 10 inaugurations, reiterated some issues. What is the economic or financial element that affects his decisions, the way he judges things? We saw that he is offering to buy from Denmark, and if Denmark does not succeed in selling, he will also put economic or financial pressure on Denmark. We saw what he promises: if Canada enters, it means I joined America. He also agrees to reduce taxes, live a better life, and have more money, and also to raise the issue of money, or to remove 25% taxes on Canada, if you do not agree with this idea. We also saw that he wants to occupy Panama and take the canal as well for the sake of the money issue, because there is money being expelled on American ships and he wants to release this money by force. He is the main factor. If I had not sent the money, that's it. He would invade the canal without meaning to occupy it. We saw it threatening to withdraw from NATO, also because the issue of money is an issue. The political, military, and other logistical issues pertaining to the subject. He doesn't put it up strongly. He may not raise the issue of whether we pay how much in this matter, and I may, if I withdraw, I will not pay this number, so it will save a number of funds or how much money. The last thing we saw from Trump in recent days, the issue of Trump's currency, is that he issued a currency in his name, and then how many hours his wife issued another currency, also in her name, from the digital currencies, Trump's currency. Digital currencies are currencies, MHME. It has no physical existence, meaning it has no paper or metal to represent it. But it is a number that still exists and is not subject to central banks, and is not subject to the control of any government of the entire world. And therefore there is no body or person who has the ability to change its price, and therefore it is a kind of the types of investing, especially in large numbers. There are two types of digital currencies and a type of cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrencies are very valuable and important currencies in large physical transactions, the most famous of which is Bitcoin, and in many other types of such, these digital currencies are suitable for purchase from major stores. In very large stores in the world. Now she's admitting it. Also suitable for investment. I mean, you can store quantities of these currencies, and then after that, their price increases over time. It is an approach to investing in gold. And sometimes it exceeds gold. Sometimes it is better than gold in investing in major cryptocurrencies. The world deals with them in a second type of currencies. A second type called meme currencies. Meme is a cartoon character. Japanese for a dog, and was the first to be used as a type of sarcasm, jokes, or jokes on the internet to deal with people who love this character. Then, with the passage of time, this currency turned into a real currency. These sarcastic currencies remain bitterly linked to a specific person. A specific person, why? A large audience, why 100,000 to 50,000 people follow him. So he makes a currency in his name. And this or this group or this society deals with this currency, and they deal with each other or ours in some currencies. When they spread, they may deal with it. Some stores accept it. Meme currencies, Mayash, safe currencies are currencies that are subject to very, very large fluctuations. Why? Because it is linked to a specific person. Now he has a currency called the Trump currency. Trump made a bold and strong decision in one of the moments, or did one of the glorious deeds. Will you find his currency rising very, very high, and people began to deal with the currency and its price? Trump rises, made a bad decision, suffered a crisis, or was subjected to an assassination attempt. Or they said, even if it means any disease that people have started, they feel that this currency will not work. It is possible that this currency will fall. Its price in the market will fall easily, linked to the person's movement, the person's health, the person's decisions, and the events that occur with the person, whether events that are his work or fateful events. He passed through it. So this is for the currencies. The ones that are meme coins are meme, which is the character of the LLL, as we said, the Japanese cartoon. Issuing this currency, especially at this time, carries a number of moral violations that should not have been done by the President of America, meaning, first, take advantage of entering the White House because he announced the date currency 2 days before entering the White House, and the currency bears the name of the President of America. And it has its logo on it in the assassination attempt, and this of course prompted a large number of people to buy the currency. The first time it entered its public print, meaning the public that was elected in the elections, and this is this terrible amount that bought the currency at the first time it came down. Profits. Fantasy. Some people's profits are estimated by intent at 18,000%. You give me that number. This is a number that has never happened in history. And in some even studies say no. This at one moment was a 28,000% rise in at the price of this currency cannot achieve it if you trade in gold for 100 years the same amount as you buy Trump currencies. And if it trades in stocks or trades in real estate, I mean in all these goods that are known, if it gets a high 4, you cannot get the number they brought. People who bought the currency on the first day or the first 2 days of its release, within 100 years, they cannot do it. Why is this? Because he is inside the White House as president, and the currency is in his name. So he took advantage of this issue. And let us keep in mind that there is another important point, which is that he announced this currency before he assumes the official inauguration, so that after that, when he remains president of America, he will not expect it. On this issue, it is as if it were exploiting a presidential position, exploiting his status as an employee in the state or as a head of state. So what does his job come out of? Of the trials on this subject, he is a beneficiary of his position, then he is definitely a beneficiary. From his position in this matter, no one would buy this currency. If he were an ordinary person, he would not be the president of America. A dangerous aspect is certain interests will be trained. Between this currency, the US dollar is as president of America. Supposedly, if he seeks to strengthen the US dollar, not strengthening his own currency within the framework of the decisions he makes, which will be in the interest of the dollar, nor in the interest of the digital currency that he launched, which will be in a conflict of interest. And the decision in Eden is one man. This will lead to future problems, and this will make him lose credibility. The truth is that there are many analysts who analyzed the issue after the launch of this currency. It is also one of the dangerous things that it is showing a very, very large audience. And this audience is basically, it's people who are exposed to loss because it is known that digital currencies, for people who are meme date currencies, the ones who win are the people who buy first. The price of the currency at that time will be cheap. They buy in large quantities. They all achieve it. People were unaware of what it was when the issue was first announced. I mean, people who are close to him bought these quantities, and therefore people who will buy late will be vulnerable to loss, and people who will buy very late will inevitably lose, and people who will have the currencies and he will leave the presidency. They may be saving it because it will collapse after Trump leaves the picture. The currency will collapse because Umrah is tied to his person. He has gone outside the media, or a big in the cinemas or anything. Okay, what did she go? The currency and all the investment they put into it are gone. Also, one of the serious moral needs in this issue of currency change trends according to the interest. I mean, he is Trump himself before this currency for several months. He rejected the issue of the decision of the digital currency, and he was skeptical of its feasibility. And the companies, digital currencies before 2 years, are trying in America to change the laws because they have harassment in America. Especially by using digital currency, and suddenly, because he still has digital currency, he flips the equation, okay? He has now become a supporter of the digital currency and is expected during his inauguration, after his inauguration, meaning the first decisions he takes are decisions that support the presence of the digital currency in America, and this has caused a lot of confusion in the digital currency market, raising some prices and lowering other prices, and lowering the price of the dollar, which means making disturbances in the market. The money is very, very huge, to the point that Rob Hadik, and this is the general partner in a company. eCapital is a firm that specializes in investing in digital currencies, he said. Launching these currencies now represents a disgrace. We will have to get rid of them as developers in this field. Some describe this currency as zero share. People who buy in the end will lose everything. And also some people describe this currency as the alternative word for gambling. Gambling either makes huge profits or you lose everything after that. The most dangerous of all this, Trump and his associates hold 90% of this currency, meaning it is the currency that they decided to issue 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, or 1,000 coins. The $1,000 are coming down of them dead. 200,000 are already dead, and 800,000 are still keeping them. Until they came down, he owns a large number of them, so he now owns 90% of these, the currencies this work. He is not supposed to present a much larger number to the public. From the 10% that is presented to the public, and even the 10% that may be involved in it in one way or another, this is the work. All the profits go to Trump himself, to the point that in the first 2 days he is a country, but in order to continue the people who worked, he became inside his treasury. Or I mean, a theory, of course, because the currency still means. Haven't you gone to the market? It will not bleed within 3 years, which are 800,000. The other ones who are virtuous will come down within 3 years. It will be inside his treasury, 38, 410, $0,000 for Trump, and the partners are aware of this currency, and the rest remains far from profits. You can go to me. The public, as he is pursuing a very large personal interest in this issue. This financial perspective is what governs the decisions. If you return to what I said at the beginning of the episode, from a topic, nor the issue of Panama, nor the issue of Canada, nor the issue of NATO, nor any other issues. It is all the factor that works to make more money, and therefore does not focus on other issues. It is possible that there will remain moral issues, or important political issues, or strategic issues, or anything else. It is to make him work on the issue of energy, such as in the way of oil, not in the way of alternative energy. It is to make him work on the issue of energy, such as in the way of oil, not in the way of alternative energy, because he support this issue. They stimulate the extraction of oil from America. He does not care about what may happen in the world in terms of warming or the environment or environmental problems in the world, but the important thing is that we save more money for America. If it uses oil than me, it uses alternative energy.